Hey everybody, it's Cardfighter Hunter here, and today I am doing my first Kagero deck profile since BTO5 came out, and of course, naturally, it has to be Dragonic Overlord the end. This deck is very, very insanely powerful. Some may even call it broken. I would call it broken. A lot of people don't call it broken and think Spectral Duke is better, but they're insane. I'm going to start with grade 3s. For Dragonic Overlord. For Dragonic Overlord, the end. Who did not see that coming? Okay. This card's SP. Bet you didn't see that coming, huh? Unless you watched my box opening video. In which case you know this is SP. It's very nice. In case you can't see it, just take my word for it, it's SP. So, I pulled 2 boxes, and including the sneak peek in those 2 boxes, I somehow pulled 4 Dragonic Overlord at the end. Got insanely lucky. I don't know what to say. This is kind of amazing. Now this card, for those of you who don't know what it does, when you have Dragonic Overlord in the soul, Dragonic Overlord at the end gains 2,000 power on both turns. And so basically, in simpler terms, I'm gonna. Oh boy, that's awkward. Sorry guys, something flew away. Okay. So basically, in simple terms, if they have a column that, say, hits for 17k, like this, swing for 17, block for 5. So this deck in particular, but also this card, is very, very, very powerful. And that's not even the worst of its effects. Sorry, reorganizing this. If you have a copy of Dragonic Overlord the end in your hand, and you attack a rearguard, and it hits, or it can attack anything as long as it hits something, you can counterblast 2, ditch a copy of itself from your hand, stand him back up, does not lose Twin Drive, and you can attack again. And you will basically turn 1 card into 4 cards. And that, along with many other reasons, is why this deck is probably the most, I would say, one of the top 2 decks in the game right now, along with MLB. This card is very, very powerful. I already said that, so moving on. I run 3 Tages. I used to run 4. I didn't like running 4 because, I don't know, they would always find a way to... I can swing at something unboosted and they can block it for 5, basically. So, I don't think there's any back row card that has 3,000 power, except maybe like Rakshasa, in which case, oh yeah, you have to guard this for 10. If I have a booster behind it, you have to guard it for 15. You want to save your Rakshasa? No? Okay. No one runs Rakshasa anyway, because she's kind of horrible. But anyway, this card can attack the back row or in the same column as it, so if they had a, I don't know, let's say they're playing Aqua Force and they have like, oh, what's it called, Basil in the back. Attack Basil for 8. You have to guard that for 5. Or if I have a booster behind it, attack Basil for 16. You have to guard that for 10. So, Tages is a very good card, has perfect synergy with Kagero's retiring theme. Basically, this card is very, very good, or this deck is very, very good, because it doesn't really have a lot of dead cards that wouldn't, do anything. Like, if you pulled a Lawkeeper after you already wrote a Lawkeeper, then congratulations, you have a 10k Vanguard, or a 10k Vanilla. I run 1 Nahalem, only because, 1, I need the space, 2, I like, if I manage to draw into it, it's always nice to get into it on turn 2 and then ride it and have a 10k Vanguard. If they attack like Blaster Blade, boosted by Wingle Brave, no pass. So I think 10k Vanillas, even with 12k attackers, are still very good, but I only run 1. For Burning Horn. 12k attacker, don't need to say much, can hit MLB by itself. With any grade 1 in the deck, it will hit for at least 18, which cross rights have to block for 10. or more if you get a trigger. So I don't need to say much about this card. It's very, very good. The only problem I have with this card is when I have to end up riding it, because that's always kind of awkward. And then I run 2 Berserk Dragon. I only run 2, and honestly I'm thinking of taking them out entirely, because this deck is so counterblast heavy as it is. Basically, you have to keep 2 counterblasts open for Dragonic Overlord the end, because that's how Dragonic Overlord the end applies his pressure. If you have 1 damage, then this guy is not much of a threat other than the 13k base. But if they have 5 damage and they are all open, I can attack, kill something, Persona Blast, stand him up, attack something else, hits, Persona Blast again, stand it back up, and attack again. That's never going to happen. I mean, it can, but it's not very likely. But so maybe that's not the best scenario, best situation. But anyway, my point is you need to keep your counterblast open, and I'm thinking of taking this card out entirely. The only reason I still run it at all instead of taking him out for no harms is because in the MLB matchup, when they play their Blaster Blade or Blaster Dark in the rearguard circle when they're setting up for MLB, you really need to kill it as fast as possible, or they are going to, get some serious advantage on you. So, Berserk Dragon. Grade 1's 4 perfect guards. I feel running 4 perfect guards is necessary in this format because you have cards like this, and you have cards like this. That, really, if you let their attack through, you can be out-advantaged very easily. So, I think 4 perfect guards is a must in this format. Unless you're like Spike Brothers or something where, it's complete rush down and, you don't run any perfect guards. I think that would be the only exception. So, 4 perfect guards. For retiring things, I run 3 Heat Nail and 3 Kimnara. Now, I think I said this in my tournament report a couple weeks ago, which I will be doing more of. I didn't get around to doing one for the for last week, but I will definitely do one for the stand-up cup, which is actually tomorrow, and this is of course the deck that I'll be using, and it will be cross rides everywhere. So anyway, I heard someone saying, oh, you could run 1 Kimnara because you could search it out with Conroe, and I'm like, that's the stupidest thing I've ever heard. You want more than one of this card. The whole deck is based around killing boosters so that you can hit my 13k base. I don't see why you would run less. I don't see why you would run 3 or 2 or less, I guess. I think this is 3 or 4 of actually, because it's too good of a card to pass up. And with Burning Horn in this, attack for 18, against cross rides, new magic numbers, blah blah blah. Both are technically break evens, but they can be very useful break evens if they have like a Toy Poogle behind their MLV or a Marin or something, because it really makes them lose more hand advantage. And when they are, or at least they should be, guarding this every turn, they're going to lose a lot of hand advantage anyway. Oops. Oh, that's alright. Four bar, very standard. Gotta run 4 bar. Yeah. I run 1 ammo. My ratio is kind of odd. I run 15 grade 1s. Because in a deck like this, where you are constantly putting a lot of your grade 1s into the soul or back into the deck, you don't have a lot of boosters a lot of the time. And even though you can search them out with Conroe, it still makes it kind of inconvenient. If even after you use Conroe, if you have 1 bar boosting Overlord at the end, and you don't have any other boosters, that could be very difficult. So, as a general rule, I generally run 15 grade 1s in my deck. The only other exception to this is Dark Irregulars, where I run 16 because you're always soul charging your demon bikes and whatnot. So anyway, Airmelt, I run it just for consistency, so I can dig out for that cross ride, or for, you know, a second copy of him, so I can Persona Blast. And this Behind a Burning Horn makes 18, which is always good, as I've been saying. And as you can see, I don't run any 7K boosters because Gojo, I don't like Gojo as much. Gojo is very odd, and I would really only use it early game. And after that, it would kind of become dead. It would be a 7K booster, which isn't bad, but it would be a 7K vanilla, or at least this helps, you know, break numbers, or this, you know, does, these all do something, this does something. So yeah, that's my grade ones. So I just completed this deck today. I had 3 Dragonic Overlord at the end, which is what I've been playing with in the last couple tournaments. But then I got my second box today, and I pulled another Overlord at the end, which is ridiculous. So I think I said this already, but out of 2 boxes and a sneak peek, I pulled 4 Overlord at the end. 1 was SP. I was like, wow, I got really, really insanely lucky. So anyway, grade 1s, or grade 0s. Conroe, if he is not your starter, you are doing something wrong. This is probably the best starter in the game, I've said this before, because he can search out any of these. Oh, Blonde Ezel singing for stupid shit tons. Oh, I need to hit 21 against a Vermilion with my Overlord the End. I want to recycle stuff so I can Persona Blast and apply pressure. I want to kill Rearguard. This is the ultimate toolbox card. This and Mecha Trainer are really, I think, this Mecha Trainer and maybe like Wingle Brave are the only toolbox starters, and that's why they're kind of amazing. So triggers, I run 4 Tar, 3 Draco Kid. I only run 7 crit. I just like it that way. I tried out a crit 4 draw, it just didn't work for me. Because the whole thing about this deck is, you know, you get ridiculous hand advantage. So oftentimes, I will end the game with like 10 cards in my hand, which is honestly really, really stupid. So I run 2 Gatling Claw. The reason I only run 2, as much as I like its effect, is because it's 4K base. So this doesn't hit for shit. Like even against a 10K, the only way this is gonna actually boost for anything decent is if you put it behind an Overlord or a Burning Horn, and I would not always rely on that. If it were 5K, I would run 4 of them, because honestly the card's pretty amazing. Because you see Conroe, I'll kill it. Wingle Brave, I'll kill it. So I only run 2 of these. I was considering running 3, but then I was like, I run 2 Monica and then 1 red gem. So 5 draw total. I like these because they're 5K. It's pretty much the same as playing a grade 1, because, you know, it's the same shield value, and boosting for 5 extra means that they have to guard for 5 extra. So that's always good. And if you put a trigger behind a Burning Horn against MLB, swings for 17. I think I already made that example before. And then of course 4 heal. 4 heal is good. So thanks for watching. Please subscribe if you enjoyed this video, or follow me on Twitter at twitter.com/ I'll put it in the description. I can't spell it. I mean, I can spell it, but it would take too long. So anyway, bye. Thanks for watching. See ya.